Thanks, everybody. Thank you for coming. This is the Institute for Leadership and Action's Future Thinking workshop. Oh, Michael, did you want to start recording? Okay, you're already recording. My name is Natalie DeSandro. I am a senior here at Rutgers, and I'm studying social work.
Hi, my name is Karina. I'm a nursing major and a Spanish minor, and I'm in my junior year.
So just to kind of get us started off, I'm going to talk through some of the objectives of what we're going to be doing and talking about today. So we're going to define and provide examples of positive future thinking, going to discuss a couple studies that have demonstrated the power of positive future thinking, going to connect positive future thinking to the practice of leadership, and lastly, we're going to participate in an activity that increases your positive future thinking power. So Karina, if you wanted to take this.
Yeah. Okay, so what is positive future thinking? So positive future thinking is closely related to optimism, and there are specific cognitive factors that make up positive thinking, which is like visualizing yourself in possible positive events, maintaining a positive outlook on the future, and just keeping the excitement and seeing yourself in happy and projecting yourself into future things that you really want to do.
So these are some ways that future thinking arises in our day-to-day lives. So anticipating future events, when you think about that, it really can come down to just using a planner or using whatever form of planner that you like you're visualizing, okay, this time next week, I'm going to be doing this. So that's a way that you can anticipate future events. And goal setting, another way you can anticipate future events. So setting goals for yourself, like maybe within 3 months, I want to be able to cook a certain recipe, like setting a specific time-sensitive goal. You're thinking ahead, thinking to the future. Positive self-talk is where the positive aspect of future thinking comes in. So something that was said to me at one point that I always really carried with me is that you want to talk to yourself the same way that you would talk to like a best friend of yours, right? So if a best friend, was coming to you wanting advice or feeling really low, you want to obviously you would treat them very kindly and be very positive towards them. So you want to be able to treat yourself with that same level of positivity and respect. So a little bit of like positive self-talk and kind of trying to nip in the bud negative thoughts, and because they tend to circle, your negative thoughts. And lastly is delaying gratification. So understand that the things that you do now may have a positive or negative effect on your future, right? So if you delay gratification now in the moment, you can kind of project into the future and think okay, how is this decision now going to affect my later life? Maybe that's tomorrow, maybe that's a week from now. But just kind of thinking through that and thinking how the decisions that you're making now are going to play out in the long run is an example of future thinking.
So moderating effects of future thinking. A negative future thinking has a strong correlation with depression and hopelessness. So if you think, oh, what if I don't get the opportunity? You might be self-sabotaging yourself from opportunities that you might actually have a great chance to get. So you really want to try to think in positive, let out those good vibes. Really put yourself in opportunities and spaces that you might feel uncomfortable in. But if you have a positive outlook, you might actually get the opportunities that you never thought you would. So I feel like a lot of people do self-sabotage even before they apply, and that makes them not apply, and so definitely don't limit yourself and just try and be hopeful for the future.
So future thinking, I just want to really hammer in on the fact that future thinking is all about envisioning a positive future for yourself, right? So that's the main crux of what future thinking is. And that actually has a pretty huge connection to leadership, because we kind of already talked about positive future thinking, but there's also strategic future thinking, which is like, I also kind of mentioned this too, but I didn't define it. Strategic thinking is when you're thinking about the future and thinking about, if I do this, how's this person going to react, or how is it going to affect this decision or this deadline. So that's like you're being strategic in your plans and in your future thinking. And when you combine positive future thinking and strategic future thinking, you're really going to get an effective leadership style, because not only are you for your future and envisioning a positive future, you're also being strategic about the decisions that you're making and who they're going to affect and how they're going to affect those people and those organizations or whatever it may be. So when you combine those two types of future thinking, you're really going to see an effective leader come out of that combination. A big part of leadership is inspiring other people to rally behind a shared vision of the future. So once you kind of have your positive thinking, your positive future thinking like down pat, and you're able to get other people on board with you when it comes to what is my hope for the future, right? What do I envision? And you're able to get the people on your team to really like agree and also get excited about that shared vision of the future. Does anybody have any questions? That's most of our like content.
Not a question, but maybe an image to present. So specifically, when I think about strategic future thinking, I think about chess, right? When you first start learning how to play chess, you're only thinking about your next move, and kind of reacting to what your opponent's doing on the board, right? Strategic future thinking is that ability to look a few moves ahead. You know, if I open with this pawn, what might my opponent do? How do I want to position myself from there to be in the most advantageous position? I don't want to frame strategic future thinking in such like competitive terms. Maybe it's because I'm teaching my daughter how to play chess right now. But for me, I think that's just a really good image. You know, the better you get at chess, the further ahead into the game you're able to look before even, multiple moves are made.
Thank you. I think that's a really good image to take of strategic future thinking. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay. So now we're going to get into our little discussion portion of our workshop, and we're going to practice some future thinking amongst each other. So, and anybody can go, anybody can volunteer, but I would like you to try to describe how you imagine your life 1 week, 1 year, and 5 years from now. So we can do that one first, and then we can get into the second portion of it. Trisha, you can go. Thank you.
You're welcome. So right now I'm having a hard time. And I'm positively thinking in my future thinking, I will attend the master's program that we were offered in 2 semesters, even though I'm struggling right now, because my hope is that once I get through this and I finish, obviously my goal is to obtain my bachelor's degree in May 2021 and to obtain my master's degree in social work May 2022. And I believe that once I accomplish that, I will be able to accomplish so much more out here in the world as a social worker.
Thanks, Trisha. I'm glad that you're able to put that positive spin when you're thinking about your future. Thank you.
Just taking it like one day at a time, like sometimes, like even though future thinking is good, like don't see it as like intimidation, because sometimes people might be like scared. but like just taking it like one day at a time, 1 week. So like maybe this week, like for me, it might be like starting to study for my exams, and then 1 year, like I'll be my senior year, so that's exciting. And then like 5 years from now, hopefully I'll be back in school. So yeah.
Thanks, Karina.
I can go. So for me, right now, for a week, I think it's just getting back with classes and also making sure I'm successful weekly on a weekly basis in classes. That means like submitting assignments on time and also studying very hard every week. And within a year, I imagine myself doing, doing an internship abroad, or volunteering abroad, or studying abroad within a year. And within 5 years, I imagine myself getting a master's degree. That's I hope for. So yeah. So right now I'm just thinking about those things.
That's great. I hope and I think that just from hearing you say that like thinking about those things that are happening in a year or 5 years like gives you a lot of like motivation to keep doing what you're doing in the like week span, right? Because you're studying really hard and you're working really hard in your classes so that you can get to that 1 year and then so that you can get to that 5 years. So that's great. Thank you for sharing.
I think for me, in a week from now, hopefully I would have done well on my test, better than I did last time. And then in a year from now, I'm a senior, I'm a nursing major. So hopefully like a year from today, I will be a nurse and hopefully an ICU nurse. And then in 5 years from now, hopefully I would have been to a couple of states and figured out where I want to like settle down and live and what state I want to be in and stuff. So.
Thanks, Chimdi. Also very, very positive things that are happening. So that's great.
I would like to go. For me, in like a week, I hope to like get like all the work I need to get done for my classes and to pass the exams that are coming up. And like in a year, I hope that I figured out what nursing specialty I want to go to because I'm currently a nursing student. In 5 years, I hope to have graduated, probably traveled abroad, and like I hope to be like working in out of state, like in Canada maybe, or just like in the US but out of state.
Cool. I like how everyone's like 1 week is basically very similar. Like just trying to pass our tests. Like that's our 1 week our 1 week envisioning. But okay, does anybody else want to go? I think only Rocky hasn't gone. So if you wanted to go. But if not, it's okay. We can go to the second question. This is kind of like a two-parter question. So like now we got like let's think about what we just thought about, right? Like everyone kind of talked about their 1 week, 1 year, and 5 year like plan. And think about like when you were thinking through that and when you were envisioning it about your thought patterns, right? So were you thinking kind of like negatively, like, oh gosh, like hopefully I know what I'm doing in 5 years, like kind of more like down on yourself, or were you more like positive and excited? Like did these future thinking things make you like excited and happy? And anybody can go.
I think it made me happy, like thinking 5 years from now, like I'll have more control. Cause like when you think about it, like I'm 21, I've been in school my whole life. And like the idea of not being in school anymore makes me happy. Or like the idea of choosing to go back to school, like just having that control. And then like it also scared me a little because like I do want to like live outside of New Jersey, but I've also never lived outside of New Jersey. So the idea of that is like a little intimidating, but at the same time it's like that kind of healthy kind of fear where like it doesn't stop me from doing it, but it just has like that feeling of like this is new and crazy, but it's probably will end well.
Good. Thank you.
And that's, I feel like you touched upon like how important it is to like always keep that like positive mindset. Like you said, like at the end of the day, like we'll probably all be okay, you know, and like we'll all accomplish our goals, like even if it's not like next week or like in the next couple months, but we'll get there. And I think that's really important.
Well, my future thinking makes me happy and hopeful for what the future has in store for me because I don't know what that is. You know, I don't know what that yet is, but I know it's going to be something great. And just touching on Chimedy, I hope I said your name right, Chimdy.
Yeah.
Just touching on what you said, I was born and raised in New Jersey, never lived outside of the state of New Jersey. But for some reason, I've always longed to want to go somewhere else. So I just wanted to touch on that too. So I'm just hopeful and happy when I think about my future endeavors.
For me, when I think about my future, I'm sort of nervous because like thinking about like a week from now, I'm nervous because we have like a bunch of tests coming up. But like as she mentioned, like going abroad and like working abroad, it kind of makes me nervous because like I've been abroad before, but I've never lived there. I've only stayed and then returned. So I don't know how it's like gonna work out. So that worries me a bit. But besides that, I'm sort of excited and looking forward to the future.
I guess it's a lot different to just visit and then come back home as opposed to like that is your home. So I can definitely see how that would be a little bit nerve wracking.
For me, I think it make me aware that I will need to do what I need to do right now to reach there, right? So I shouldn't like kind of give up. Or I shouldn't like kind of act lazy. But I lazy right now, I won't reach what I want to go. So like it like constantly like keep me working hard for me. So I'm a little nervous about it, but like it just keep me on my toe, like to keep working hard towards it.
You have a lot of motivation. That's very great. That's awesome.
If I could add one thing, so I got to be honest, like this is an idea that I've been wrestling with lately. Being able to envision the future because I feel like collectively we're all experiencing a lot of uncertainty right now with everything going on in the world. But I got to be honest, as I heard each of you like sharing your vision for what your future looks like 5 years from now, like that kind of reignited in me thoughts about where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing. Um, and that helped me. It kind of like pulled me out of the present almost in a good way. And so, to your earlier point, Natalie, about the connection between future thinking and leadership, sometimes just being honest and authentic about our visions for our future kind of captures the imagination of other people. And I think that really speaks to the power of this type of visualization, right? Because it's not effective not just for us, but for those around us. Like when people hear you share your dreams and your vision, it makes them think about their own. So like on a personal note, thank you everyone, because you've kind of like brought me into a better headspace than I think I might have been before the workshop started.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing everybody's week, year, and 5 year kind of thought processes. And it's interesting also to think that a lot of them, like I already mentioned, how like the 1 weeks were all kind of similar. Like we're just gonna get through our exams and we're gonna study. And also like the 5 years were a little bit similar too, because a lot of us want to travel and see new places. And I just think it's interesting that some of our goals are similar. That's pretty cool. Does anybody else want to add anything before we move on? Okay. We're going to do a little activity. Let me see. So I'm sure that everyone has heard of a vision board, but just in case you haven't, basically what a vision board is like a collage of images that you can use to inspire you, to motivate you, or just to bring you joy. Basically, like you maybe have a vision board on like a cork board and you put all different like pictures on there. Basically, it's something that you want to look at every day to kind of like envision, okay, this is what I want. This is what I'm striving for, in a healthy way, right? Nothing crazy. But yeah, so it really like uses all the things that we talked about, like visualization and future thinking, and it kind of puts it in your face to see and to look at and to think about, right, every day. So I was hoping that we could maybe take 5-7 minutes and make vision boards, and then we can share them with each other if you want. You don't have to share. But basically all you have to do is you can go on Google Slides or Canva if you have an account, or PowerPoint, whatever resource works best for you. And you can find pictures of whatever it is that speaks to you, right? And just kind of like plop them on there. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I would love to see kind of what you guys come up with, and what are some of the first things that come to your mind when you think about visions for your future. So I put a little one of those like ambiance music things in here to play. Oh no, that's my vision board. Oh, I hope nobody saw my vision board. It's top secret. But yeah, so I'm gonna play some music, and I will set a timer for like 6-ish minutes. And then whoever wants to share, as you know now, I have mine, so I'm gonna share mine. But if anybody else wants to share what they come up with, I would love to see it, and we can just kind of talk about it. And yeah, I can't click my thingy, Michael. I can't get my music because this is like a picture of the PowerPoint.
Huh.
So I'm going to go out and then share my screen again. Also, I'm starting a timer now. No! Oh my gosh. Stopping sharing.
You know what it might be? Because we exported the slides into PowerPoint.
Yeah,
Link.
that's what I think. I like to do these. I like to listen to these when I'm doing my homework. Okay. thought that was fun. I hope everybody liked making a little vision board. I know that was kind of quick, but hopefully, I think it'll be telling. The things that go on there like first probably are the most important to you. But I can start off and show mine really quick because I made it part of the presentation. So this is my vision board. It's funny because like not in particular order of importance, like the bigger picture doesn't mean it's more important to me, but just so happens that the first and biggest picture is represents graduation. That is a lot of us express that that's one of our main goals and one of our main visions for the future. And that's also one of mine. This picture of this house, I would love to live somewhere like that. I really would love to live surrounded by nature or mountains or woods, just anything where I can feel like the air is really clean that I'm breathing. That's like the goal. That's one of my visions. In that house, I was like, that's perfect. That would be so cool. I would really love to get a dog someday. That dog in the picture kind of looks like my dog at home, a lot younger version of her, but kind of looks like her. I really want to get into baking. I've been saying that for a while. I've mastered a lot of cooking skills over the past year and a half, but I have not mastered any type of baking skill at all. And I would love to be able to bake. I think that would be a good skill to have. And I really love weight training. I love going to the gym. And that's something that I want to continue pursuing and honing in on that craft as well. So that's why I put in that lift, lower, repeat picture. But that's my vision board. If anybody wanted to share what they have, I can make, or Michael can make them the host, I think, so that they can share their screen.
You should be able to just share your screen. I'm very like anarchist when it comes to permissions on Zoom. So.
Does anybody want to share their vision board?
Yeah.
Sure, anybody, whoever.
Okay, I'll try.
Screen first, I guess.
Okay, let's see if I'm doing this right. I have no idea what's gonna pop up. You can go first. I'm trying to figure this out. Sorry.
Okay, I'll go. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay, I think I got it. Can you guys see? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. For the future, I put like nurses there because I'm going to end up being a nurse, and I forgot to mention this. I wanted to go back to school to actually get like a bachelor's degree after gaining some experience, and then I put the hat for graduation. And then in the picture to the top right next to the nurses, I put that there because I want to travel to Asia. After graduating, I want to like go to Korea or Japan because I'm really interested in their culture. And then I put the globe with the plane because I want to work in different places. That way I can hone my nursing skills so I can help my patients better. That's like something I want to do. And then the nurse with the globe in the hand is for the same thing because I want to be like a travel nurse.
Very cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I got it now. Can everyone see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first one, obviously graduation, like that day is gonna be like magical for all of us. And then the second one is, it looks like a surgery room. They're like, I don't know, I want to work in surgery or like OR trauma. And then the next one is like traveling. I love like going to like really cool places. I want to like have like a house by the beach one day, like somewhere like Hawaii maybe. I don't know. And then a doggy, something that kind of looks like this. I think they're really cute and fluffy, and I just love dogs. I've always had dogs. Um, and the next one is the Aurora Borealis. That is like my dream before like global warming does not let that happen anymore. And then a really cute like modern house, something like this. I think, I don't know. I'm like really into like geometrical shapes. And the next one is like traveling with friends. Um, like I guess like the group of friends I have now like really like going out and stuff, and I've just like fallen in love with doing that. And then the next one is like I think I want to own my own restaurant one day. I think I just love food. I'm like such a foodie. Um, and maybe have like I don't know, like a mixed like restaurant thing, like Indian food, Mexican food, like Japanese food, like pho. I love pho. Like I don't know, something like crazy like that. But yeah, that's my board.
You're gonna do it all. You're gonna be a nurse and a restaurant owner,
Yeah.
traveling. Very cool. Thanks, Karina.
I guess I can share my screen next. I can figure it out. Okay. How do I do that?
Should be like, is it like on the bottom, like a green one that says share screen?
Yeah, and then it says like desktop, whiteboard.
Oh, it should probably be like, does it say like window or something?
It says like Google Chrome unknown or like we'll do.
Whichever one like has the picture of what you made, click that one. If any of them do.
You might have to allow access on settings for Zoom because that's what I had to do too.
Okay, so someone else can go. I'll do that.
I can go.
Thanks.
So, there we go. Are you guys seeing my screen now?
Mhm.
Right. So this is my first one. I have the graduation picture. Actually, this represent the graduate from like undergrad, get my bachelor. And my next step, where I'm done with high school. I already got my bachelor. My next step is master. So you see, it's gonna check out right here too. So after my master, I plan on working in a nonprofit. One of these days, I might own my own nonprofit. So I'm counting on that. And also, I plan on living in France. Probably do my master in France. And my overall goal is to really become a philanthropist. So yeah, so this is just a laughing and making it. So that's it for me.
Do you know do you know what you'd want to focus your nonprofit on?
Probably education.
Very cool. Thanks.
Sure.
I like it. Thank you.
Okay, let me try. There we go. So the picture in the corner with the kids, like that's a picture I took. So I like photography, so I'd like to get into that. And that picture was taken in Nigeria, so like it encompasses like me wanting to go back there too, because I love it over there. I was born there and I'm from there. And then I would love to take like a road trip across America because I do want to travel to other countries, but I think like America has beautiful places too that I've never been. So I would love to just go around and like travel all over. And then obviously becoming a nurse. And then passing the NCLEX. Like I'm very excited for graduation, but I feel like even in graduation I'll feel unfinished since I still have to take the NCLEX. So I think like the official like feeling of like being done will happen when I see like that pass. And then like family is very important to me. So I would love to like be with my family more and just do that. And then this like apartment building, I would love to own property and like rent it out and have that be just another source of income, and like also like just having a place to go like other places. My brother, like he studied real estate law, so he really like would like to do that too. So I think that's like a very realistic future goal. And then this dog over here is an Australian Shepherd, and I would love to have an Australian Shepherd named Theo in the future. And this right here is Dallas, Texas, and I think that's where I want to like live and like be, and eventually like that's where I want to end up, I think, after I travel a little bit and see the other parts of America and see where I want to be, and maybe even another country. But yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Chimdi. Very cool. Did anybody else make one that they wanted to share? Trisha, you are muted. I can't hear you. Trisha, did you want to? No, it looked like you were talking. I think you were talking, but you're muted, so I can't hear you.
Okay, so I like can't find the meeting because I was trying to. I did make a short slide. Unfortunately, I can't even find you guys. I can't even see you guys anymore. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Do you have like a million tabs open? You must have a million tabs.
God, I do.
Trisha, do you want me to share while you reorient yourself?
Yes, please. Yes, please, Michael. Thank you.
Happy to hop in for a friend here.
Be my savior.
So,
I got you guys.
this is mine. Couple similar themes. I'll start down here in the corner because that's a picture of me, and that seems a little bit self-aggrandizing, but that's me playing music at my church, which I haven't been able to do live in 7 months. And so I think one of my nearest term goals is for us to get to a place where I can do that again. It's just really, it's the community that I grew up in, and I love being able to engage them in that way. I can't wait to be able to take my daughter climbing again. Up until March, that was the thing that we did on a weekly basis. And it was a really great bonding activity for us. My daughter is like the center of my universe. And so want to get back there. I also want to be able to garden again. I don't have time to do that anymore because of school and other things. Again, this is just a quote that I found about daughters and how they grow up. And that is a part of my future that I guess I'm excited about, but wrestling with at the same time. I don't want to get remarried. I love my wife, but we are coming up on our 10-year anniversary. And we've talked about renewing our vows. And when we first got married, we were at a very different point in our lives where we had to like scramble to do it on the cheap. So if y'all are ever looking for like a very cost-effective wedding, hit us up. We can talk you through some things. The universe has been kind to us since then. So I'm hoping to level it up a little bit for the 10-year go round. Up here is my graduation slide, but I've got a little bit of a process. I'm pursuing my PhD right now. So I see this gentleman's existential crisis as part of my future, but also with a positive outcome at the end. And then finally, I hope to be re-engaged with the nonprofit sector a little bit more than I am right now in the future. I love my work at Rutgers, but I would love for that to continue to overlap with community organizations. That's really where my first passion is, and want to get back to that someday.
Thanks, Michael. Very nice. Trisha, were you able to get yours up?
I have it up, but I'm scared to get off. Do I just hit share screen and then go back to it?
Yes. Don't be scared.
So when you hit share screen, some options should come up for what screen you want to share. So if you just click on your slide and hit share, it should take you there.
Well, it's not on any of the options that came up because I did it on my phone and emailed it to my laptop. So this isn't going to work. How about if I just show you guys from my phone?
It works. You could do that.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I really wanted to get it up, but I'm going to show you guys from my phone. Should I just put it real close? No, I feel like you guys can't see it. Everybody's screen looks so nice. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Just tell us if you want. Just tell us.
So the first slide just said my future, I can do anything. And then I had a picture of a girl and a boy holding their papers up with A's. And the last thing was a graduation 2021, the cap and the gown picture. Because that's what I'm hoping for. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Thank you guys all so much for sharing. I loved looking at them and hearing you guys talk about how you envision your future. Really quick, I just have a few, I think only like one more thing to go over in terms of our content. So these are just some things that you can do to increase your future thinking. So if you're having a hard time putting yourself in your future and thinking anything more than a week from now, these are some things you can do to increase your future thinking. So goal setting and planning. So kind of like we mentioned way in the beginning of our workshop, that thinking about your goals and like making concrete timelines for your goals is going to help you reach them. And also maybe not so much just having the timeline, but like steps that you're going to take to reach your goal as well. So rather than saying, I'm going to learn how to bake cinnamon buns in 3 months, like in 1 week, I can look up a recipe. The next week I can get the ingredients, you're like doing step-by-step things to reach your goal. Next, you can surround yourself with reminders, just like how we made a vision board. If you really liked doing that activity, you can like make one for real, right? That you could put on your wall, and you can look at it every day to help yourself to put yourself in the future and envision what you want for yourself. And also putting like, I see that people put like Post-it notes on their mirrors and stuff, just like little reminders, and people seem to like that. So that's another way to remind yourself of what you're working towards. And lastly, journaling. Journaling is good for everything, I have to say. But yeah, like journaling and thinking about, like if you, let's say you planned a goal and you set your goal, maybe like journaling your experiences, reaching that goal, and just kind of, writing down your thoughts. And they're also really good to look back on. So let's say in 5 years, you look back at your journal and it can really help you see how far you've come in that time. And these are the resources that we use to make our presentation. So thank you guys so much for coming. I had a lot of fun and I hope that you did too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Any final questions before we split up for the night? Natalie and Karina are really, content experts here. We should take advantage of them while we have them.
Oh, and if you're really into the idea of goal setting and goal planning, we have a workshop next week, same time, on goal setting and planning. So it'll be Tuesday at this time or Wednesday during free period if you're interested. Okay, if nobody has any questions, thank you and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night. It was a great presentation.
Bye. Thanks.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Be safe, everyone.